Okay, up to now we have discussed about the basic syntax in Python and then the arithmetic operators. And after discussing about the arithmetic operators, we were discussing about logical operators and then comparison operators, comparison operators, logical operators, comparison operators, logical operators, then assignment operators. Assignment operators. Assignment operators. Assignment operators. And then we were discussing about the data types, basic data types, like integer, float, Boolean, string, integer, float, Boolean, string, like basic data structure string. And also we have discussed about bit complex one like list, tuple, dictionaries, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and then about sets, this list, tuple, dictionary, and set. We have discussed about that. And after that, we have directly jumped into the sequence selection and repetition. Sequence selection and repetition. Sequence is basically where you can see the set of instructions are flowing and these instructions are executed one after another. That is called sequence. And the second one is selection. Selection is where you have to switch between the data flow. The reason is why we have to switch between the data flow. The reason is we have to take a decision based on a condition. I hope you can remember if, else, elif, those things, statements that we have discussed under particular part. After that, what we were discussing is actually repetition. Repetition, under the repetition, what we were discussing is basically the loops, for loop, while loop, true while loop, those things we were discussing under repetition. Okay, that is here. Sequence, selection, or if else, then repetition loops. Actually, what remains? Then we have jumped into this particular part, which is algorithms. And we were discussing about find in max, find in min. And then like repeatedly apply these max min algorithms and sort a list, right? What we need to discuss? We have to discuss about file handling. Still, we have not discussed about that, file handling. And then we have to discuss about functions. File handling, functions. After the functions, recursion. We need to discuss about recursion after the functions. And then after the recursion, we need to move into the database part, which we will be discussing about the MySQL and Python together. So that is the database handling. That is what we are going to discuss. Okay, all right. So that is left, recursion and DB handling. Right, that is left with us. That part we will be discussing today. Not today, actually. Today we'll be discussing about further about the algorithms. Actually, I will be discussing the search in algorithms first. How search in algorithm work, that I will discuss. And after that, I'll be, actually there are few more algorithms that we need to discuss under the algorithm part, that is bubble sort and bubble sort, as well as insertion sort. Insertion sort is a bit complex, we'll be discussing later. And then I will step into this file handling, functions, and recursion basically. And after that, the database handling. Actually, with the database handling part, we need to discuss about MySQL part, MySQL, DBMS, and relational database management systems, and other ways of storing data in databases that we will be discussing the particular part. Actually, this all these topics will cover 25% of your total paper. That is the wonderful thing. Like if you have participated all the lessons, if you have come to all the lessons, at least 90% of this, I'm sure that you will be, and if you have done the exercises given at the time, I'm sure that you will be scoring more than 20 marks. That means you are reaching your pass mark easily with the Python. But as I know, more than 60% of the students will not answer any Python question in the examination. See, that is the statistics. More than 60%, that is a very big percentage. They cannot understand this programming part. That is the pathetic situation. But anyway, in IT, programming is one of the basics, one of the very basic and one of the must-learn thing in ICT. Okay, let's move to the next part now. Right, I'm moving to our ideally, and let's discuss about that. Okay, let me open the ideally quickly. And this time I'm going to discuss about the bubble sort. Actually, before discussing about bubble sort, I would like to pay your attention into the animation. So please check this animation. We have already discussed this website. I have already given this link, Visual Go. This Visual Go has nice animations that you can understand easily. Right, when you load this Visual Go website, let me load it. So why the journals? Visual Go. And in the Visual Go, I need sorting part. Okay, here it is. Let me open, and you can also open with me and try to understand, try to figure out the algorithm behind this. Okay, try to figure out the algorithm behind the bubble sort, right? What you need to select here, you need to select bubble sort. Okay, just follow these instructions. I have already read it, that's why I'm skipping quickly, but you can read it leisurely and follow them. And all these, the big O notation, the complexity of algorithm, and all these things are there. Anyway, click out of that and you can see the bubbles out there. So please run this. You can execute the bubble sort. And after that, right? After that, you can see, after executing this, right here, you can execute the sort command. After executing this, you can see the wonderful sorting method of bubble sort. First of all, execute this by yourself and try to understand what's going on there. I will give you 2 minutes. Right? Try to understand the algorithm. I will give you 2 minutes and again 5 minutes totally, actually 3 more minutes to write the algorithm in Python. But don't search. You can get the algorithm easily using ChatGPT, because AI is intelligent. If you ask AI to write the algorithm, it will write it for you. But do not let AI to take over your brain. Right? What do you need to do? You have to actually use your brain. Otherwise, that will be, fermented, and that will be ultimately become kind of like a thing with a fungus. So that's not going to work out for you. If your brain is not working, you are like a dead zombie, and don't be like that. So try to manipulate your neurons and get things done. That is essential. ඔගලගේ මොලේ තියෙන නියුරෝන වලට පොඩක් වැඩ දෙන්න. chat gpt ගෙම වැඩ කරගන්න එපා. Okay, right, do it now. You have 5 minutes. See the visual, see the animation, and now after that try to simulate that. Right, let's say you want to sort this in ascending order. So this algorithm is basically only considering about the nearest element. 46 and 31 can be compared. The nearest element, both elements are compared. Then you can see 31 is less than 46, which a swapping is needed. Then 31 will be put into the left and 46 will be put to the right. So left, right, swapping is done. And after that, then the next two is 41 and the 46. 41 should come the other side. Always, if this right element is less than the left element, you are swapping. But if right element is greater than the left element, you are not swapping. So that need to be continued. And as a result, at the end of first line, you can see the smallest element will go to the corner. See this? Let me execute and show you. In the first round, this will be, and there's a swap, and there's a swap. There's a swap and there's a swap. There is a swap and there is a swap and there's a swap and there's another one. And you can see the largest element will go to the corner. And the second round, it continues. It will repeat the second round. It will compare the adjacent element. And if right is less than the left, then the swapping will be done. Otherwise, no swapping. This need to be continued. Once you continue this, as a result, ultimately you will get a sorted list. That is the algorithm. Actually, you have the like pseudocode is also there. You can see the pseudocode over there. So since there is a pseudocode, you can just like think from the pseudocode and convert that to Python code easily. Anyway, you have 2 more minutes to complete this activity now. Let's do it. You have defined a function, right? Okay. In range, if k, yeah, this you can mark 1 kila ganne pa. This is okay. You can use the same k. Mark k and k minus 1. This method is okay. You can compare k and k with k minus 1 and then swap. Yeah, I agree with the method. K and k minus 1 you can use. This is good initiative. You can continue with that. This is a good initiative. So let's try that. It's easy. So let's say you have a list, marks or something, and this list has elements like this. So now you have several elements, and let's for item in marks, if you can say in range is better, right? In range is better because okay, in range, index base access, in range length of x, in range length of marks, and if you can say if marks k is greater than marks k minus 1, then you can swap it. So I said that in Python there is a special way of swapping that is basically at the same time without using a temporary. Normally if you have a tea cup and coffee cup, so if you have a tea cup as well as a coffee cup, how do we swap? So we learned last day, if you have a tea cup as well as if you have a coffee cup, you have to take extra cup, put tea into the extra cup, then coffee into the tea cup, and after that the extra cup you have then first tea into the extra cup and coffee into the tea cup, and you have the tea in the extra cup that you can put it to the coffee cup. So that is how you do the swap. Let me draw in case if it is unclear to you. So if you have coffee, C, and tea, T, and then there is an extra one. First of all, what you need to do is you have to put tea into the extra cup. Now tea is here and tea is not here. And then put coffee into tea cup. Now coffee is here. Therefore, coffee is not here. Now you can put tea into here. And now tea is here. So tea is not here. So that is how the swapping done. But the thing is, in Python, there is a magic. That means you can swap both together. You can say marks k, comma, marks k minus 1 is equal to marks k minus 1, comma, marks k. Marks k minus 1 equal to k minus. So this you can do, and you are going to continue this, and after some time, certain time, you can print the marks list. And then let's print it at the initial stage also. Print marks here also, and at the end also print in marks. So let's run it. And I'm going to run this now with the extension py. Let's save this as .py. You can see what has happened. The first round swapping is done. Okay. Anyway, you can see it's jumbled. It's not properly done, but it's jumbled. The reason is that whatever you swap, you are checking the element k, the 0th element. K minus 1 is basically, so k, what do you mean by k? That is what you need to understand. That's why I said that if you miss previous lesson, please watch the video. What is K? K is the element number. K is a variable. Initially K is 0. Initially K is 0. K is the element. Right? For K in, okay, let's print K and C. So that is the thing. Python, you will not be able to understand in the middle. That you need to carefully understand from the beginning. I really advise you to go and watch all the videos related to Python. Otherwise, if you are watching from the middle, maybe it's difficult to you to understand here. K is changing from 0 to 9. Why? There are 10 elements. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0 to 9. There are 10 elements. This K means index. K means index. And that K you are going to compare. That K you are going to compare. If K means the 0th element is greater than this K minus 1, then you do the swap. You do the swap. Okay. Let's print this after the first attempt. I'm printing after the first attempt. You can see the initial swapping has bring 67 to the corner. Initial swapping has bring 67 to the corner. Right, the first round. First round. But there is something. There's something wrong. The first item is 34. Okay. The second item is 45, and you are comparing. Then you can see 34 is not greater than 45. Therefore, no swap. Come back to the next item. 45, 23 compared. 45 is greater than 23. There is a swap. 45 is greater than. There is a swap. You need to swap these two. Swap these two. And after that, you are printing. You can see here 45, 34, no swap. But this one, right here, actually, initially there is no swap. 45. So 35, 45, 34, 45, no swap. But second round, when it comes, K is updated. K is now 1. Here K is 0. K is now 1. K minus 1 is this item. Actually, you need to compare the item in not item in the previous item. You have to compare the next item. That is the mistake I have done. Actually, you have to compare K plus 1, the next item and the current item. Sorry, that is my mistake. That is the mistake here. I have to compare this item and the future item. Not the item previous, this item and the future item. Sorry, that is my mistake. Let me run this now. And I have understood the mistake. And now let's see. And now you can see, okay, the first round, 67 is here. You can see this is now, okay. It tries to bring the item to the corner. Let's try to swap the items and bring it to the corner. But there is a problem. So when you go to the last item, K plus 1 is the future item. Right? Because K is increasing, right? K is increasing. When you go to the 9th item, K plus 1 will be 10. But you don't have such. Therefore, you should not go to the last item. You have to say, here is minus 1. Length of mark minus 1, that is 8th item. That is enough. Then K plus 1 will be 9 times. 8 item එකට යනකොට K plus 1 automatically 9 වෙනවා. 9ට ගියාම K plus 1 10යි. 10ක් ඇත්තේ නැහැ. ඒ හින්දා තමයි මේ රේකේ. 8ට ගියාම ඇති. ඒ කියන්නේ length of marks කියන්නේ කොහොමත් length of marks 10යි. 10න් එකක් 9යි. බිඳුවේ ඉඳන් 9ට කියන්නේ බිඳුවේ ඉඳන් 8 9ට ගියාම stop එක. Okay, let's run this now. We have understood one mistake because we are not going. Okay, now what is the thing? And now we can see. Okay, now we can see the swapping happens, but there is a problem. The first item, 34 is here. Then other items again 34 is here. For some reason 34 is here. For some reason this is partially sorted. It's not fully sorted. It's partially sorted, not fully sorted. So let's print it at the end and see that whether there are any. Okay, still you can see it's not fully sorted, it is partially sorted. Now find the error. So always we will get an error and that error need to be connected. If there are two things, k and k plus 1, k is this, k is 34, k plus 1 is k 34, k plus 1 is 45. The k ලොකුයිද k plus 1 වලට නෑ. ඒක සැප් වෙන්නේ නෑ. ඊළඟට ආයේ ඊළඟ එක. එතකොට k ඇවිල්ලා 45 k මේක එතකොට 23 ලොකුයිද? 23 ලොකු හින්දා මෙයාව සැප් වෙනවා. 45 සැප් වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ 45 ඊළඟ එක්කෙනා තමයි 45. ඉස්සරහා ඉන්නේ I45. 45 sorry swap වුණානේ 45 45 දෙකක් තියෙනවා 45 45 swap වෙන්නේ then 45 56 swap වෙන්නේ නැහැ 45 67 swap වෙන්නේ නැහැ 67 78 swap වෙන්නේ නැහැ මොකද මෙයා පොඩි 78 89 swap වෙන්නේ නැහැ 89 34 ඔන්න swap වෙන්නේ 89 is bigger it will be swap ඊට පස්සේ the next is 89 67 89 ලොකුයි එහෙනම් swap වෙනවා හරි ඔය first round එක විතරයි this is only the first one. You need to continue this. The May first round එක ඉවර වුණාම තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒතකොට ලොකු මේක 89 in the corner. This is end of the first line. ඒතකොට මතක තියාගන්න you need to repeatedly do this. ටිකටම කරන්න ඕන. You need to repeatedly do this. That means we need to put another loop. Okay, let's put another loop for j in range. Now variable එකක් ගන්නවා for j in range. Again I am telling length of length minus 1. Then I select make apply karno. Apply this again. So let's run this now. Okay, now you can see first round 89 now. Ilanga lokukena ilanga round එක ආවා. Next bigger one here, next bigger one here, next bigger one here, next bigger one here, next bigger one, next bigger one, next bigger one, and finally it will be sorted. Actually, when it comes here itself, it is sorted. After that, bonus rounds. මෙතනින් එහාට නිකන් sort page එක තමයි sort කරගෙන යන්නේ. Actually, once there are no steps, you can terminate. You can optimize this. කියන්නේ මෙච්චර ඕනේ නැහැ. දැන් මෙයා පල්ලහැටම යනවනේ මේවා කරගෙන. හැබැයි මෙතනට එනකොට steps නැහැ. මෙතන එනකොට මාරු වෙන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. මාරු වෙලා ඉවරයි මේ. ඊට පස්සේ මේක sort කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒක අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් මෙහෙම. We can set the swap count SWC කියලා කියන්නේ swap count 0. Okay, when there's a swap, you have to count. මම මෙතන swap එකක් තියෙනවනේ when there's a swap එකක් තිබ්බ හැටි ඒක count කරනවා. ඉතින් when there's a swap I am counting it. Telling plus equal 1. එකකින් වැඩි කරනවා. Okay, then you do it. මේක terminate කරන්න ඕන. මෙතන end එකේදී if SWC swap count equal to 0, you can count swap වෙලා නැහැ, no swap, then you can break, terminate. Okay, let's run this code now. See that this has how many rounds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 2 rounds. May round එක ඕනේ. මෙතනින් sort වුණා. එතනින් අතහැරලා දැන්. When there are no swaps, given up. When there are no swaps, given up. That's it. Optimizing. ඉතල algorithm එක හැදුවා. පොඩ්ඩක් හැදුවා භාගයට හරිය ගියා. ඒක repeat කරලා ඔක්කොම හදාගත්තා. Finally you have optimized. So that all these things you can do with your code. Actually, in the examination, don't worry, they will not ask to run this from the scratch or write this from the scratch. Exam එකේදී අහන්නේ මේ algorithm මුලින් ඉඳන් ලියන්න. They will give the algorithm halfway. ඒගොල්ලෝ algorithm එක භාගයට දෙනවා. They will give that algorithm halfway and ask you to ask you to fill in the gap. First, they will give the algorithm, and they will ask you to fill in the gap. That is the nature. Okay. Okay. Now, can you do that? I mean, you have to test this. Can you test this? Okay, do this and let me know if there are any errors. Try to sort this using descending order now. Then make them a pavichikalla. Try to sort this using descending order. Now ascending order is done. Can you try to sort this using descending order? Anik pathara sort karanna balan. Ascending order is done now. Try to sort it in descending order now, quickly. It's very simple, right? Only small change can do that. So see how simple that is. What you need to do is, you have to change this one. Right? Make it greater than it. Just change this one, this way, other way. Then run it and see the changes. See, it's all in other way. It's greater than එක නෙතිබ්බ මෙතන පොඩි change එකක් නේ. වැඩිනේ ඕක අහලා තියෙනවා exam එකේ. You have to change this greater than to less than. Greater than එක තියෙද්දී it's sorting from smallest to largest, and when it is less than the largest to smallest. That is how it's happening. So it's very easy. Okay, let's now actually we have done 2 sorting algorithms. We have one remaining. That one is basically insertion sort. Insertion sort is a bit complex. I would like to discuss that later, not now. Insertion sort, I will be discussing it later. But now I think we can use this time to discuss about the other thing, which is search. I'm going to discuss about sequential search. Sequential search. Okay, let's see how sequential search is going to work. Sequential search. Okay, in this sequential search, sequential algorithm, you are going to access each element very easily. Okay, let me start a new file. And let's say we have the same list like this, and I'm going to search for an item there. I will be taking an input from the user. In this case, let's say item I is input, int input. I'm going to get an input of search item, enter search item. This search item I'm going to take as input, and then I'm going to search it. Enter the search item. And how I can traverse? Traversing means accessing from the first element to the last element. You access one by one and then move forward. That is called traversing. Okay, let's do that. You can say for item in marks. No need to go by the index. This time you can use the item. For item in marks, you can say for item in marks, everything you need to try, right? So here, these are practicals. No, I know some of you guys are just listening, right? Some of you guys are just listening means you are just listeners. Then this is like, this is like so-called bana. So then if you are listening and if you are not going to practice, what will happen ultimately? So IT is all about the technology. Technology is about practicing. Theory is not enough. Looking at this as a film is not enough. You need to practice. You need to get your hands dirty. Without getting your hands dirty. Getting your hands dirty means don't go and play with mud like kids. But I'm telling that without feeling, without a real feeling, how can you become a coder? Right? You can tell, maybe. So I'm asking these questions from lot of lecturers. I have interviewed more than 1,000 candidates in lecturing. So some guys are coming and telling, yes, I can teach networking, I can teach database, I can teach this, I can teach this, that, and this, and so and so. I can teach for this degree, I can teach for that degree. Okay, I'm happy. Good. So then I will give them a small practical. Okay, if you are good in networking, can you network these two pieces and show me? Put an Active Directory server in one computer and the other computer need to be a client. So put a web server in one computer, the other computer need to be the client. Can you configure, connect them using a twisted pair wire, using a crossover cable, or using a twisted pair wire, or using just maybe a small network switch, and show me how it works. Can you share a file? How can you share a service using a network? Then they are telling, so networking theory නම් උගන්වන්න පුළුවන්, but networking practical අපි කරලා නැහැ නේ degree එකට. They're telling like that. So then it is like, so I don't know what is networking theory. Theory without certain practical, where you are going to apply? You are going to be a parrot. Don't become a parrot. Here you need to pay your full attention. Just read the code by yourself, get it done. You will get a lot of errors. It's a lot of fun because a lot of errors to play with. These errors are also lessons. Okay, if my lesson is only about this, if you copy and paste 0 errors, you will learn only one lesson. But if you type this from the beginning and if you commit errors, right? If you type this from the beginning and if you commit errors, let's say you find 10 errors, 20 errors, 30 errors, good. If you have that much of errors, that means there are 10 lessons, 20 lessons, 30 lessons, 30 errors, 30 lessons. I can teach you only one lesson because I'm not introducing errors to my code because I have good practice. So I purposely am not putting errors. But if you code this, I'm sure that you will get errors. These errors are lessons. Remember that 20 errors means 20 lessons, right? So do this practically, get these errors, get your hand dirty and learn from the errors. These errors are also lessons and you will really be happy when you're facing the examination. These errors have taught you a lot of lessons. Similar to that, you know, Thomas Alva Edison, when he was exploring and discovering for the bulb, he said that there were like 999 failures and one success attempt. Out of these 1,000 attempts, 999 failures. One success attempt, 999 failures. But what he is telling, what he was telling is this. What he was telling, he was telling, I learned 900, I didn't fail, but I have learned 999 methods of failing. I have learned them. So don't be afraid for the of errors. You do the code, right? I know that only few are doing. Kalhara is doing that, I know. Madhusha is doing, I know. But I'm not sure whether Metmi and Safia, are you doing the coding? If you are doing the coding, yes, I'm really happy. If you're not doing the coding, next day onward, please do the coding. I don't mind. Maybe you will get silly errors. Right? Silly errors, syntax errors, printing P capital, simple, varahana wahala ne. Samanne. That is the way of learning. You didn't learn to walk when you born. You committed a lot of errors. You fall a lot of times. ගොඩක් වෙලා වැටිලා තමයි ඔයාලා ඇවිදින්න ඉගෙන ගන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් අද ඇවිදින්නේ නැහැ. No one is there went to the classes for tuition classes for actually learning how to walk. No one has walked at the first attempt. You failed. But these failures are lessons now. Therefore try to walk like that. ඒ වගේ වැටෙනවා තමයි. බය වෙන්න එපා. errors එනවා. errors කර ඉගෙන ගන්න. Okay, I'm going to traverse for item in the marks. For item in the marks, I'm going to traverse. If this item is equal to the search item, which is I, you can say print I. Okay, you can say item I found, and you can break item I found, and you can break because it's found, you can break it. If not, else, actually else nothing to do, right? If not found, nothing to do. You just continue, no results maybe after that. Okay, let's keep else blank and let's run the code. This is sequential set. You search item by item. You compare item by item and search whether the item is there. Let's run this now. Execute the code and see the output. Sorry for my ugly naming. Okay, so enter the search item. I'm searching for item number 1. Nothing found, so it's empty. Run it again. Enter the search item. This time I'm searching for the item number 76. Not found. Okay. Run it again. This time I'm searching for the item number 78, which is there here. 78, which is there. Okay, say item 78 found. Right. Item 78 found. Okay, I think that you have learned this. Please copy down the code soon. This is sequential search. Today we have discussed about 2 things. Sorting algorithm number 2, bubble sort. Bubble sort in ascending order, bubble sort in descending order. How to optimize the bubble sort, we have learned that. The third thing is we have learned. The third thing is this. We have learned sequential search. Right? In the sequential search, we are going to search item by item, one by one, and get this done. Okay. That's it. Cool. Quickly copy this down, and I'm going to wind up from here. Let me know once you are done.